Hello, if you guys are getting ready for a marathon, you're going to want to watch this video. We're going to get Ben here ready for his marathon this coming November, right? How many weeks do we have?
Two more weeks.
2 more weeks for his first marathon. So I was just telling him a story about how we had Howard Stern's sidekick, Robin. Everybody knows Robin. And I think we probably had some videos that we posted way back 7-8 years ago. And we got her ready for the marathon. She raised a couple $1 million for a charity. She lost a ton of weight. And I remember during the marathon, we had her, we were following her the whole time. And, you know, and I had helped her. She had some health issues and some knee issues and back issues leading up to the race. But then after the race, we were going to adjust her, and I had a private chef make a really healthy, nutritious meal for her after, because right after the race, she had a big charity event that she had to go to, 2 events. So after the race, I've got all of CNN following me and another station following me. And it was supposed to be a big media blitz thing. And I'm waiting for her at the end of the race at this one spot on the west side, Upper West Side. And I'm waiting and waiting, and we're supposed to meet, you know, at this specific spot with her and her trainer who ran with her. And all of a sudden, I get a text from her. She's like, "Dave, change of plans. We're going to go to another spot. I don't want CNN following me. I look like hell." I said, "So you want to now wait to get home and put makeup on for CNN to come?" And she texts me back, "No, I don't want them to come at all."
Oh, wow.
So, you know, for me it was upsetting a little bit, because we were going to get PR, some publicity for the office and things like that. But it didn't work out that way, which was fine. But we went to her house, and I had all the media with me waiting at the finish, near the finish line at a specific spot on the west side. And I had to figure out how to lose the media and then sneak to her house with everybody in the streets. You can't get taxis, by the way, after the marathon.
Yeah.
So here I am trying to figure out how am I going to get and lose with all this gear. I had a bunch of gear with me, lose the whole crew, and then make it to her house without them seeing me, because they didn't know where she lived. And I had her address and everything. So it was a mess. But we ended up losing the crew and eventually making it to her house and helping her out. She had a little bit of plantar fasciitis, and we did some laser treatments, some chiropractic adjustments for her, and then went to the charity events with her. But it was a long day, and I remember it was cold that day.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping it's not.
Yeah,
It's a warm November.
It was chilly. Yeah, get used to running in this chillier weather, because most likely it's November 7th is the race, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you guys are running the marathon in November 7th here in New York City, you're going to want to take care of your body, because it's going to be colder that day, and you've been training all summer in the warm weather. So you want to make sure you're really warmed up really good. They're going to have probably massage therapists and chiropractors there, helping the athletes out. But good idea to get warmed up. And also, I don't know about you, but what do you do the day before the marathon?
Planning on a short run, like 3 miles.
Boom, there you go. Smart. So he's going to do a real short run, 3 miles. I probably wouldn't even do 3. I would just do maybe 1 mile, just to get my legs going and, you know, warm up a little the day before. But yeah, that's up to you. Some people like to do 2 or 3. I wouldn't do more than 3 miles, though, the day before the marathon. And then also, you're a little late, right, as far as your training?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he told me today he's going to run 16 miles, try to get 16 miles in today. So what that tells me is he's either climbing up to peak at, You know, usually you don't run the 26.2 miles. You're going to run about 20 to 22, 23 at the most, maybe, before the race. You don't typically run the full 26 on your training days. And then after that, you taper down in the month or two before the race. So are you tapering down, or are you still tapering up?
Probably tapering down. I'm gonna do 12 next week, and then the marathon.
Okay, well that's a good sign. Okay, so he's a little late in his training. He probably should have been tapering down a few weeks ago, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, or at least been below 10 miles by now, because the race is 2 weeks away. So he's going to taper down this week, right? 16 today, and then how many this week?
16 today, and then probably total like 20, 25 miles this week coming up.
Okay. Yeah, he definitely wants to rest the legs for next week, or for the following week. Let's have your right side up. So we're going to do a little ART and really loosen him up before this race, but also just today before his 16-mile run. So what you're going to do is bend this leg. You're going to swing. You're going to bring this leg back against my hip, and then kind of reach for that garbage can right there. Yeah. Okay. And go ahead. A little slower. There we go. Good. So what I'm doing here is ART, active release technique, on his glutes, because when you run, you use your glutes. These are the main muscles he's using. Okay, good. And again. Good. And again. Excellent. Okay. And again, swing it forward. Good. Bring the leg back. And swing it forward. Good. Okay, and let's go ahead and switch to the other side. Other people call this pin and stretch. But pin and stretch is a little bit of a simpler technique than ART. Okay, good. Same thing here. There we go. So you're up early today, huh?
Yeah.
See, I know I know it's an early game today for him. He's a Clemson fan, so he got up early to bang out that 16-mile run before the game.
And sit on the couch.
Yeah. Now, when you do get back from your run to watch the game, stretch while you're watching the game. So just get on the floor while the game's on and stretch out those hammies, stretch the glutes, even though I'm stretching them now, and stretch your calves as well. So, okay. There we go. Good. That's a great stretch, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
All right, good. And the other side up. And bend the top leg. I'm gonna scooch in a little bit like that, good. All right, take a deep breath in. And blow all the way out. Okay, and the other side up. Have you ever run in cold weather, or you're not? Are you used to running in cold weather?
I mean, I've lived here for a few years now, so I run outside when it gets colder in the fall and winter.
Okay. So, relax here. So what made you finally decide to do a marathon?
I was just running a lot more during the pandemic, so much more.
Okay.
And it was just like, why not run for something, you know what I mean?
Why not check it off my bucket list kind of thing?
Exactly.
Okay. Okay, and lay on your stomach. Now, be careful for you marathon runners, because sometimes people get really addicted to them, and next thing they're doing Ironmans like me, and then they're doing like crazier things like ultra Ironmans, ultra triathlons. Those are really nuts. I haven't gone that far, and I don't recommend it. It's a little bit overboard in my opinion, and pretty rough on the body. If it's a bucket list thing you want to do once, you know, like it's over a weekend, you do like 3 or 4 triathlons in one weekend at different lengths, and one of them is a full Ironman. It's intense. It's nuts. It's just, they call them, I think, ultra triathlons or ultra Ironmans. They have ultra marathons too, right?
Yeah.
So again, if it's a bucket list thing, okay, but if it's something that you're doing on a regular, probably not that healthy for the body and the joints. Now, a lot of people will argue triathlons are easier on the body than marathons, and I would say yes and no. I mean, if you're doing Ironmans constantly all the time, that's different because you're still running that marathon. But in a triathlon, you at least have non-impact swimming, non-impact and non-weight-bearing biking as well. So you're mixing up the training. So the training's a little bit easier on the body in that sense. Turn over on your back. I'm going to show you an exercise today that is going to help with that middle back in between your shoulder blades. Okay? Slide down here for me. Good. A little more. Okay. Cross your arms. So you get these anteriors in your between your shoulder blades where it burns a little bit. That's where the vertebra is shifted forward. It's because people are on their cell phones a lot with the head forward. So it pulls the vertebra forward in the middle back in between the shoulder blades. So I'm going to give you an exercise to strengthen and support that thoracic curve, okay? Tuck your chin down, take a deep breath in, and blow all the way out. Keep that chin tucked. Okay. All right. Stiff neck. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can feel that. Did you wake up that way?
Yeah.
A lot of times people ask me what can cause stiff neck or stiff back. Just a misalignment in the spine. You gotta figure they're all joints, each one of those vertebrae. And something as simple as sleeping on your stomach all night, or part of the night even, can create misalignments or subluxations in the spine, creating that stiffness. And then eventually, if not treated or taken care of, that becomes, a neurological issue or a disc injury, and something even worse, arthritis, things like that. So relax here. So if you folks out there are watching this and you have stiffness in your back, chronic stiffness in your neck, get that looked at before it gets worse. Hands up in the air. All right, turn over on your stomach. I want to just loosen up the glutes a little more and the calf muscle. Let me know if this is too much on your calf, okay? This machine here. You okay there? You got monster calves here, man.
Yeah.
Huh? You been told that before?
Yeah.
Lay on your back. So now we're going to loosen up his IT bands because I'm sure they get tight, right? You get tightness in here sometimes? Yeah. Especially if you're a cyclist, but runners too. And bend the other leg. All right. And bend this leg. All right, you're all set. Now he's ready to run 16 miles as he tapers down for the marathon. Make sure you take care of your bodies if you're going to do a marathon or an Ironman. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for letting everybody see what we do here. All right.